you've won SEC Freshman of the Week like almost every single week, and it is just so impressive to watch. Does it even surprise you anymore when you get it?
A little bit. It's like kind of like, oh dang, I wanted it again. Like, but it's just a credit to the work that I put in, you know. And I'm just like, wow, like it's really paying off, because like I used to get the short end of the stick and not get the recognition that I'm getting now. And so like getting the actual recognition, like I'm just like, this is like what I've been waiting for.
Taliah Scott has burst onto the scene for the Razorbacks, becoming a true freshman phenom.
Crunch time, Scott! Absolutely unstoppable from that far out.
That's why she's one of the best players in the country, much less freshman, sophomore, junior, whatever. She's one of the best in the country.
A lights-out three-point shooter, Scott had help crafting her skills from one of the very best in the game, Steph Curry.
Almost Steph Curry range on that one.
He's one of the top shooters to ever play the game. He was telling me, like, you have to keep your confidence high. Like, you know you put in the work.
Despite Curry's counsel and her on-court success, Scott still struggled with confidence, even though her freshman season rivals a WNBA champions.
We had pulled out 2 note cards. On the left one, it was my stats, and on the right one, it was Kelsey Plum's stats. Seeing like how I'm matching up against her, like as a freshman, it's like, wow, like I'm really on pace to do something special.
Stats aren't the only thing driving her. She's dedicated all her success to a lifelong friend who tragically died years ago.
I know he's watching over me. I know he sees me doing this, and I know he's up there happy for me, and I'm just happy that I'm out here doing it for him.
With a bright future ahead of her, Scott's success has only helped to ground her in the game.
Okay, I'm just gonna go out here, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna let the game come to me. Like, I'm just gonna hoop.
So Taliah, you grew up in Florida.
Yes.
I would say, how much do you miss it? But I feel like your team just keeps going back to Florida, back to Florida, back to Florida. Tell me about your upbringing there.
Yeah, so I have a little brother. His name is Jamal. My dad's name is Derek. My mom's name is Marika. And I've lived in Florida like my whole life. And so I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. So it's like up north, close to Georgia. My parents went to school there at UNF. So that's where they like made their living there. They're both from like New Jersey area. So I've been in Jacksonville. That's where all my friends, my stomping grounds, that's where I made a name for myself.
You and your siblings get along really well. They give you a hard time sometimes when you guys were growing up.
Yeah, we're cool now. Me and my brother, we're a lot closer now, but we used to argue, fight all the time. It used to get so bad, and my parents would be like, well, just get so upset with us because we'd always be arguing over something. We were like really competitive. So like he plays basketball too.
Okay.
And so yeah, we have a court in our backyard, and so there was some very intense one-on-one games that went on out there, and it always ended up in someone mad and upset. So.
Your parents ever get involved in it? Do the backyard games?
Yeah, so my dad used to play too. So like he would go out there, he'll shoot with us. We'll do like some shooting competition stuff. And it got really heated and it got really competitive, but I guess I get my competitive nature just from going.
That's what I was about to say. That's where the fire comes from.
Yeah.
It runs in the family.
Yeah, exactly. Like competing against them, like all the games, all the one-on-ones, like we'll play 21 and stuff. It was just so competitive, and so I miss that a lot.
Knockout, is that the one?
Yeah, we do play knockout too. Yeah, I left a lot of people mad.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So who's the best in the family?
Me, obviously. Okay. I have to say me.
Yeah,
I have to say me.
From what I've seen, I'm not surprised. So that is definitely for sure. So you said your dad played.
Yes.
Is he the one who kind of got you into basketball?
Yeah, so at first I was doing gymnastics. I used to be a little gymnast from like 4 to like 8. And then that's when so my brother started playing basketball first. He's 4 years younger than me. And so like he was at the age where like they can just start playing the little kiddie ball. And so I was watching him, I was like, oh, like I want to do this now. Like I want to quit gymnastics and do this. And so my dad, like he was the one that put the ball in my hands. He was my main trainer. He taught me a lot of what I know. We used to go work out at the YMCA in the backyard, shooting the goal in the front yard. And like, he just made it really fun when I was younger. Like, it wasn't serious. It was just just out there having fun, just go shoot the ball, all that stuff. And then when I started getting older, like around middle school, 8th grade, then I got really serious about it. And he is the one that pushed me and put me on the path that I am now.
So how far along were you with gymnastics before you made the switch?
Were
you doing like back handsprings?
Yeah, I was doing back handsprings. I was like doing back handsprings and stuff. Like I had like routines, like floor routines and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And I just quit.
Yeah,
I was just like, basketball is what I want to do now.
So we're not going to see you on the court sometime celebrating with like a back.
No, only on a
something.
trampoline. I can only do it on a trampoline
Fair
now.
enough.
And I'm not nowhere near as flexible as I used to be either.
So your parents kind of giving you that guidance when you first started going. You know, how was your dad influential in the way that you play your game?
Yeah. So one thing he told me when I asked him how he was like training me, like comparing like how he does his training versus like different trainers, he said that he used things that he thought was hard to guard as a player and then made sure that I could do that type of stuff. And the parts of his game that he felt were really effective for him, he made sure that I knew how to do that type of stuff. And so his main goal when talking to him, he said, was to make me a complete player and make sure I was able to do everything and I could score in a variety of ways. I wasn't just a catch and shoot type player, just drive, but being able to add some variety to my offense. And then also like encouraging me to play defense and like hustle and play both ends of the floor. And so he's the reason why I am what I am today. I credit that all to him.
Did you feel like you got kind of a late start into basketball or anything, or did it just kind of feel natural for you?
It felt really natural to me. Like I didn't feel like, I know most kids were playing like when they were like 5, 6, but I think also for girls, I feel like it's a bit different because a lot of us start playing later too because we're like in gymnastics, ballet, like dance, all that type of stuff. And so, but the game came really natural to me. And it was just something like I felt like I was born to do kind of.
Yeah. So when you started to realize, hey, I'm really good at this. Mm-hmm. I know you said it was kind of around middle school that you really started to take it seriously. Was there like a moment for you where you were just like, I could take this pretty far?
Yeah, so my 8th grade year, I was playing for FGB, my AAU travel team. And so that was the first year that we were on the Under Armour circuit. So 8th grade, so it was me, a whole bunch of 8th graders, and we were playing up on the 9th grade circuit. And so that year, I think I ended the tournament, I had a 40-point game against one of the Under Armour teams playing in Europe. And so I was like, oh, like, I might actually be kind of good at this. Like, if I take this seriously, I might be able to actually, like, do everything I want to do with basketball.
Ooh, so. A 40-point game.
Yeah,
that is intense. So, and this is before you ended up going to the Steph Curry camp, too.
Yeah, this was before. This was in 8th grade. So, summer, right before I went into my freshman year.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the camp. How exactly do you get invited to the Steph Curry camp?
Well, I don't exactly know for sure, but I know it's mostly people because he's sponsored by Under Armour. Right. So it's generally people that come from the Under Armour circuit. But it's like they choose between the top 24 like girls and guys in high school basketball, and it could be seniors or juniors. And so I guess I stood out. I guess I stood out and they selected me, and I'm very appreciative that they did. That was one of the most fun times and camps I've ever went to.
What was it like there? Like, how long was it? What were the days like? Kind of walk me through it.
Yeah, so I was out in Cali for 4 days. And so we would do two-a-day sessions, kind of. And so we'd have a workout in the morning. We'd come back in the afternoon. And so basically it was just him spreading like his knowledge and like his technique, showing us through how to read certain things, how if the defense does this, then you can do this to counter it. And then it was also just showing us how he works and how he got to where he was. He did a workout for us. It was a little 20-minute workout. And that was the most intense workout like I've ever seen. Like he might have shot, he shot a whole bunch of shots in the span of 20 minutes. He was going hard. He was paying attention to the detail. And just being around, like knowing he's one of the top shooters to ever play the game, and he's doing a workout in front of us. He's giving us advice. Like you're able to just go up to him, ask questions. Like you're in the same building as him. It's so surreal. And you're just like, wow, like this is insane.
Absolutely a great opportunity.
Yeah, and then they had like a lot of fun stuff off. Like we were hanging out with his family and stuff. He had his kids. Aisha was there. We ate at like her restaurant.
I was about to ask. She's got the cookbook and stuff.
Yeah, we ate at her restaurant. We had like boat tours, and so like we were just hanging out with him, and just like that was a really fun camp for me. And I met so many friends there too.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience. I wish I could go back. Like that was so fun.
It's like that old saying, like, to be the best, you got to learn from the best. And to
Yes.
get that type of advice from, like you said, arguably the best shooter in the NBA. What did he say to you? Was there anything that you really took away from that camp?
Yeah, so I had asked him about confidence, like when you're going through shooting slumps, like what do you, like, how do you deal with that? How do you manage that? And so he was telling me, like, you have to keep your confidence high. Like, you've put in the work, you've worked hours, and you've, like, close to perfected what you know what you can do. And so just falling back on the work, like, your confidence can be high because you worked, right? And so that's one thing that I really took away from him. And when I was struggling earlier in this season, like shooting and stuff, that's one thing I really fell back on. Like, I know I've put in the work. I know I've done this. Like, my confidence is allowed to be high, and I know that I'm going to make the next shot that I take.
So is there a certain part of your game outside of, like, the shooting that he worked with you on, or was it strictly, like...
No, we worked on moving without the ball. I feel like that's a really, like, something people don't take pride in a lot, and it's, like, really underrated. But we worked on moving without the ball, like, how he gets into his shots, like, because defenses are geared toward him, like, they're just focused on him. So being able to move without the ball, cut off a screen, set back screens, and pop out, like, he really focused on that with us too, and then getting into our shot. But, like, he really emphasized moving without the ball, and that's how you're gonna get all the easy shots.
I'm sure it helped because defenses are geared towards you now. So that is definitely something I've seen. You were such a highly touted recruit. Mm-hmm. What was it that made Arkansas stand out to you?
Yeah, I just think Neighbor's philosophy of playing fast, playing open, and playing in space. We're not a, like, set-oriented team. Like, we don't run 100 sets to try to score. He lets us play, and he lets us play our games. And things that you're good at, he's gonna let you do. And he doesn't just take you out for one mistake. Like, he lets you play through mistakes. He lets you play through maybe not so good shots that you probably could have got easier on. He lets you play through all that. And so I felt like me coming here, I'd be able to grow as a player, and I'd be able to step on the floor and be able to impact the team how I wanted to, and how I've been impacting it. And so, yeah, just like his fast-paced philosophy, and he, like, really believes in you. Like, if he really believes in you. He really believes in you.
Taliah Scott for 3.
Had you ever been to Arkansas before you came for, like, a visit or anything?
I didn't even know Arkansas existed until they offered me. I had no idea Arkansas existed until they offered me. But then, like, when they offered me and I started, like, talking to them and then, like, watching their games and then coming here on, like, the visit, then I was like, oh, like, this is the place for me.
What did you really like about your visit when you came here?
Well, just talking to him and talking about how he was going to use me, how he saw me fitting into his system.
Yeah.
And just how he felt like I could come in and make an impact. And then the campus is beautiful. Like, I didn't realize how beautiful Arkansas was.
Right?
Like, it's really, really nice.
I know, some people just think we're all tumbleweeds out here or something, and that is not the case.
No, it's not. It's not the case at all. That's what I was expecting.
Right.
It's completely different.
Well, I know Neighbors, it seems like he gives you a lot of freedom out on the court. Mm-hmm. What are those conversations like with him?
Yeah, he makes it known that if you work and you're getting your workouts and you're getting your shots in, he's gonna give you all the freedom that, like, you need to have. And just talking to him, like, because we are both on the same page. Like, I'm trying to go pro. Like, that's the angle. I want to go pro. And so we're like, okay. He's like, okay, let's do it. Like, so this is what you're gonna have to do in off season. Like, when nobody's watching, this is what you have to do. You have to get your workouts and you have to get your shots up. And then when it comes to the game, if I know that you're putting in that work, then you can have all the freedom. You can take all the shots that you want to take, and I know that you've worked on and stuff. And so he's really open to giving freedom as long as you're working for it.
Keep it really, really simple. We're going to give you a lot of movements early on, but try to play fast in transition. Be ready for the pressure and take what they give us. Okay.
How important is that to you as a player to have that in your coach and have that trust?
Yeah, like, I need, like, especially for the way that I play, because I feel like it's like a lot about creating and given the opportunity to create and play in space and make decisions. Having that trust and belief, like, from my coach, that just makes me play, like, makes me 100 times more confident, makes me play so much better. And, like, I'm not worried about making a mistake, because the way that I play, like, mistakes are gonna happen. Like, if I have the ball, like, I have to make decisions, like, mistakes are gonna happen, but he's just like, oh, it's okay, like, just next play, like, you're gonna make the right decision next time. So yeah, having a coach, like, it makes me not have to change my plan playing style, and I can still do what I've been doing and what's made me successful under him.
So what did your family think about when you were like, hey, I think I'm gonna go to Arkansas?
Yeah, they were 100% supportive. They were like, yeah, it's looking like the best place for you. Like, it's looking like you're gonna be able to do what you do here, and we're gonna be able to support you. And so they were 100% on board.
Have they come to any of the games yet? I know it's still kind of early.
Yeah, so they went to all the games we played in Florida they've been to. And then they came out for the first week of games when we played ULM and Murray State.
Yeah.
So my mom was at both of those games, and my dad and my brother showed up for the Murray State one. And so those were like the only 2 games I've been to in Arkansas. But then I have like my aunt and my uncle are coming down for the Georgia game. Oh, nice. So I'll be able to see them and stuff. So
okay, that ULM game was a good one to come watch you play. We'll get to that in a minute. But also, I know that Naves has mentioned to me, you're hard on yourself sometimes. Yeah. And one of the things he told me he did with you is he put your stats next to Kelsey Plum's stats, but didn't tell you which stats were yours. Mm-hmm. Can you walk me through that and how that conversation went?
Yeah, so he was just like, so we had finished watching film or whatever. He was like, let me talk to you, whatever. And so we had pulled out 2 note cards. And so on the left one, it was my stats. And on the right one, it was Kelsey Plum's stats. So he was like, I want you to guess like whose stats these are.
Yeah.
And so I was looking, I was like, okay, because I knew what my stats were like, because like I was keeping track of it. So I was like, okay, this one's mine. And so we got to the other one, I was like, I really don't know like who this one is. And so he was like, this is Kelsey Plum's. And I was like, oh. And I was like, and he was like, yeah, like what you're on track to do, like you're already done through the first 5 games compared to what she's done. You're on track to be one of the best to play like this game, because she's one of the best to play in the college game. And so like seeing that and seeing like how I'm matching up against her, like as a freshman, like what we both did, and I saw her outcome and how she's gotten everything that she's wanted. It's like, wow, like I'm really on pace to do something special, and I can really like make all my dreams come true and reach all my goals.
Did that kind of give you any sense of relief? Like you could relax and just play the rest of the season? Or are you still hard on yourself being like, you know what, I can get better?
I'm always hard on myself because I just know like what I'm capable of, and I just want to reach everything that I've like planned and that I want to reach. And so I'm always like hard on myself, like I don't know, it's just something like, it's just the competitive, like, and like my dad, like we're all like, I strive for perfection, and I want to be like the best player possibly that I could be. And so I'm always hard. Sometimes it gets to be too much, but then that's when I just go and talk to my family, and they'll like calm me down, they'll relax me, they'll give me my confidence back. But yeah, I am really hard on myself because I know what I can be, and I don't think I've reached that yet.
So your parents, those are the ones that you go to in those difficult times. What do they usually tell you?
Yeah, they're just like, first of all, they say like, we like love you, all this stuff like that. And then they're like, we just like want to support you, and we love supporting you, we love watching you play. Like when you play like you do, and you have fun, like we love watching you, we just love watching you play. We don't care how bad, how good you did, like we just want to see you play. And we're watching you on TV, and this is like insane for everybody.
Oh yeah.
And then like my dad would be like, you know that you've worked, like you know you've put in so much work to get where you are, and so don't lose faith in what you know you can be, and don't lose faith in what you are just because you went through one little rough patch or whatever. Like you're still that same player. Like you just had a bad game, you just had a low like you just low.
It happens.
And yeah, and you're gonna bounce back the next game, and you're gonna go crazy, and you're gonna do what you want to do and what we all know that you can do. And so yeah, they're just confident. They just give me so much confidence whenever I talk to them.
Well, you can see the confidence out on the court, but you definitely see it. I think, let's go to it. We'll talk about the ULM game.
Okay.
29 points in your college debut. What was your mindset going into that game? Were you just like on fire, just itching ready to play or something? Or were you just like, I got something to prove?
Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of both. First, I like the South Carolina Notre Dame game had got me hyped because I see Hannah in Malaysia, and I'm like, yeah, they're going crazy. Like I know them, that's like freshmen. Like now I'm ready to play. Like I'm excited. Now I got something to prove too. And then it was just like my mindset going into the game was just have fun, because I feel like I play a lot better when I'm just having fun and I'm not worried about like making a mistake or all that other stuff. Like, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go out here, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna let the game come to me. Like, I'm just gonna hoop. And it's gonna be like, I'm at the YMCA or like LA Fitness or something, like, I'm just hooping. And so that's really what it was. Like, I was just having fun, I was just hooping, and it turned out really good for me. And that was a really fun game, especially like making my college debut in front of my mom and like doing that. It was just special. It was really special.
When did you find out that was the most points by a freshman in their debut at Arkansas? Did you know that?
I think Kylie told me like after the game or something. I was like, wow, like I just did that. Like I really just did that. And I was just like, well, there's more work to be done. Now I gotta uphold that. Like I did that. Now people are gonna be expecting that. So now I gotta get back to work and just don't let them down.
Keep raising the bar. I mean, you've won SEC Freshman of the Week like almost every single week, and it is just so impressive to watch. Does it even surprise you anymore when you get it?
A little bit. It's like kind of like, oh dang, I won it again. Like, but it's just a credit to the work that I put in, you know. And I'm just like, wow, like it's really paying off. Cause like I used to get the short end of the stick and not get the recognition that I'm getting now. And so like getting the actual recognition, like I'm just like, this is like what I've been waiting for.
When did you not get the recognition? When did you go through like a hard time with that?
It was in high school. It was like basically my freshman, my sophomore, and then like some of my junior year where like I wasn't getting any of the, because we had some girls that were like, they went and played college basketball too, but they were getting most of the recognition. Then we had some really good players in Florida too, that went and signed D1, high D1, Power 5 schools. And so like I was young and I was like on the short end of the stick, and so I wasn't getting all that. And I didn't really start getting like a lot of my recognition until like my senior year, really.
Wow.
My senior year. So like I had like a couple awards my junior year, like 1 or 2, but then my senior year's when I
went off.
Yeah, it's when I got a whole bunch of them. And so like that's when I started getting it. Like I wasn't getting it before, and people, it was,
So you've mentioned the goals that you have. When you come in as a freshman, what kind of expectations did you put on yourself to achieve those goals?
So when I came in as a freshman, I knew like I wanted to be freshman of the year. Like I already had that in my mind before I even set foot on campus. Like I knew that's what I wanted to do. And so, you know, I got with Todd, I got with Nabes, and I said I like this little plan and workout plan, how many shots I need to shoot, what I need to work on, all that stuff. And we've been doing it, and so I think if I keep doing this and I work a little bit extra, like I'll be able to reach all that stuff.
Is this plan like on a calendar? Is it in a notebook? Phone notes?
Yeah, kind of like a phone notes, like notebook kind of thing. If I felt like I feel like writing it down, like what I need to do.
Gotcha.
But it's mostly like on my phone and stuff. So it's like, you know, just go in, get on the shooting machine for like an hour or so, get up around like 500 shots or something, and I'll come in, like work with him, and I'll like, you know, lift, do some stretching, make sure I'm taking care of my body. Like that's been the biggest thing that I had to learn since I got to college, is how to take care of my body and eat right. Like that's harder than me adjusting to the game playing, but like the recovery part of it, that's been really big.
Those trainers don't mess around.
Yeah,
they do not. Everyone always has either like a chip on their shoulder or a reason for like their motivation for how they play the game. What's yours? What fuels you?
My family, you know, they're like my why, they're everything. First of all, me being able to play college D1, like that's something my dad like always like wanted me to do. And so being able to live out his dreams, like, and my dreams at the same time, like him being able to see me do what I do at the college level, like what he wanted to do basically. And then like my family just like being so supportive of me. Like my mom like loves watching me play, and so being able to play just for her too, like it's just showing like this long journey that they've been a part of. They've been so supportive of. They've put so much money and time and effort into it. Like seeing it all like pay off like on the court when I'm playing.
It's clearly not a fluke with you. You've just continued to impress people. You're setting all these records here at Arkansas. What's the response that you've gotten from your coaches about how you've been playing so far?
Yeah, they've been really supportive, and they've been like they've been wowed too. Like how I've been wowed, they've been wowed too. And they've been so supportive of making sure that like I'm in the right spots and making sure that I'm able to do like what I do. And then like also like, Todd, he, always finds somewhere to get better. And so he'll like compliment me and then we're right back to, okay, what do I need to get better and what do I need to keep doing? What do I need to keep improving at? And so like, I'm really thankful for him because he keeps me very level-headed and he makes sure I don't get too high. But yeah, it's just like, okay, like I see what you're doing, let's see where you can get better at and let's see what you can improve on so that you can be one of the best players in college right now.
What about your teammates? What's it been like playing with those girls so far this season?
Yeah, it's been fun. Just being able to come into a team where they've really embraced me and they've really allowed me to play how I played and not make me change the style that I've been playing. And they've been supportive too. Like they've been really supportive too. And so it's been fun. It's fun competing with them and everything.
Well, I was reading your bio on the website, and it said that you dedicated this season to a friend of yours, Mike, who passed away. Mm-hmm. If you're okay talking about it, just as much as you feel comfortable explaining, why did you want to do that?
Yeah, so about 3 years ago, he passed away in a car accident. And so it was a hit and run, so they never found out who actually did it. And so me and him, like, we grew up together, basically. Like, I knew him since I was, like, 6, 7. Like, we played basketball together. Like, we went to workouts together. We were, like, really tight. And then when we got into middle school, he used to come over to my house all the time. We used to hoop. Like, so we were really close, and we had really big aspirations that we wanted to reach. Like, he wanted to go to the NBA. I wanted to go to the WNBA. Like, we just wanted to, like, be great, like Hall of Famers. Like, we wanted to go to the league. And so that's why I've been dedicating, ever since he passed, I've been dedicating every year to him. And just reaching our dreams, like just going out and trying to reach our dreams for us.
It's really powerful to think that you did that this season and you're already having so much success. When you think about that, how does that make you feel?
It just makes me feel so happy. Like, it's like, wow, like I know he's watching over me. I know he sees me doing this and I know he's up there happy for me. And I'm just happy that I'm out here doing it for him. And hopefully, like, it ends, this year ends good. We, win, make it to the SEC tournament, win, possibly. And then do well in the NCAA tournament. And I know he's just supporting me from up there. Yeah.
Well, I know you've already set the bar so high and we're still early on in your college career. Where do we go from here with Taliah Scott?
Yeah, so I don't know, try to keep raising the bar. My goals for this year, for me personally, I'm trying to win Freshman of the Year. And then try to win National Freshman of the Year, but there's some really great freshmen out there, so we'll see how that goes. And then for the team, like, do well in the tournament. Like, I just want to go as far as we possibly can and play as well as we possibly can in the tournament. And then conference play, do well in conference play. Like, I'm excited, we're excited, and we're ready.
Well, you're on track for a number of those things. Right. So we'll see how this season wraps up, but we're all going to be cheering for you, Taliah. Thank you so much for sitting down on the Hog Pod.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.